Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About It, where the four of us, or Army veterans, get together and kind of chat a little bit about the things that are going on in our community and giving other veterans in the community a voice so that not only can they be heard, but they know that they're not alone. I'm Lewis.
I'm Raul.
I'm Ray.
And I'm Nick.
Okay, Nick. I think before we go any further today, we definitely need to hear your awesome introduction.
6 minutes, doggy, oh, oh. That's Lewis's new theme song. So every time he comes on the stage, you're gonna hear that played. He's gonna put it in ringtone from my number.
Don't edit that out, bro.
Definitely not editing that out.
That stays.
Yeah. The second thing we want to talk about is we wanted to thank everybody. We launched last Tuesday or Wednesday. We launched our Facebook page, and you guys are awesome. We hit 100 participants or 100 likes in like an hour and a half, and then 200 by the next morning, and today we hit 300. So
I haven't even looked.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man. Like people have really, we've gotten a lot of positive feedback as well as love from the community. So definitely want to thank y'all. The second thing is we started with swag.
Merch.
Right now, somebody forgot theirs. The guy who made them. We also have these really cool shirts. We have them in big boy size and little girl sizes.
Don't hate the play, hate the game.
Yeah. Child size.
Yes. So today we want to talk a little bit about TBIs and the fact that so many soldiers, so many people in general are getting it. But before we start, I wanted to give a definition of what it is. The traumatic brain injury is a wound that was unheard of just a few short years ago. It occurs when a sudden trauma or head injury disrupts the function of the brain. Before modern-day medical advances, speedy battlefield treatments and advanced armor were developed, most people who suffered these types of injuries rarely survived, which is crazy to think that people die from TBIs.
Yeah, it's common. It's very common. To I don't know how to say it. To get it.
To receive
Yeah.
an injury like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's really funny because, it's not funny at all. A few years ago, the NFL, didn't even know anything about concussions and the ramifications that concussions could have. It wasn't since a lot of players started coming out with this that they started doing a lot of these.
Some new rules, regulations, new gear, and everything else trying to combat it.
Correct. I remember, back in the day. So my unit switched from being light engineers to mechanized engineers, and we got these awesome 113s. Right. This is before the Bradleys came out, and the engineers got the Bradley fighting vehicles, but we had the old M113 A2s, not the A3s, the A2s. So kind of Vietnam type
You're
era.
dating yourself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely.
Yeah.
So I had my CVC helmet on, and I was a TC, a track commander, and I jumped on top of the track and forgot to unhook my CVC.
Yeah.
And, man, I was yelling at somebody, and all of a sudden, I'm this way, and then I'm this way, like flat on my back, And yeah, that hurt because it rocked me, man. I saw little stars and stuff. that was never anything that you would think, oh, I need to get checked out for this. And, you know,
Because everybody was just laughing at you.
well,
standing
I was
around.
laughing at
yeah.
me for being such an idiot. You know?
Man.
I mean, first thing you do when you get out of a track vehicle is, you know, especially if you have the CVCs, is unhook it.
Yeah.
But you know, with that being said, and you know, kind of touching back on the football players receiving a lot of those injuries, one of the statistics that I heard was how TBIs are becoming more and more common, especially with IEDs or improvised explosive devices, you know, downrange and stuff. And it's crazy for me to think how much that really does impact you. You know, you were sharing a little story about, you know, some concussion work.
Yeah.
Would you say little story because of his height?
Hey, at least I don't have the baby shirt. So.
Yeah, you right.
That's true.
No, but like when I was deployed, and this was a long time ago also, you know, back in 2004, 2005, you know, we had already come back. We were, you know, sleeping in our hooches. And, you know, we would get hit with mortars all the time. Wasn't anything that was out of the ordinary. But this one evening, the mortar just happened to hit the ammo cache. So, you know, where all of the bombs, mortars, you know, all that stuff that we would find all went to this ammo dump, and that got hit. So, I mean, there we are, you know, in the middle of the night, getting blown out of your bed by all these explosions going off. So, yeah, I was able to pop up the YouTube video. Cause,
You'll be able to see it
yeah.
right there.
Because several people have posted that since, and I mean, that went on for what seemed like hours, you know, and that shook everybody. So, you know, those are kind of things that, you know, you really don't even think about, you know, in hindsight. You know, when you're there, yeah, but you're not thinking about any type of injuries that could have caused. You know, I mean, when you're sleeping in your, you know, your hooch, you know, stuff is falling on you.
Yeah.
You know, getting out, you know, just the initial shock waves from that too can kind of mess you up.
Yeah. You know, it's really funny for me to think back to some of those things where you're right. Like in the heat of the moment, your adrenaline is pumping, everything is going. You thinking about your health and oh, am I okay, is not even in the beginning stages of being on the back burner.
Yeah.
You know, it's so far out of your mind because you're more worried about the situation, your troops, and everything else.
Yeah.
Especially the further you go up in the food chain.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
You know, it's crazy. Like, even when they say like being diagnosed, I wasn't diagnosed with TBI until I think 2017, and I got out of the military in 2015. You know what I mean? So it was never something that was brought up, and there's no telling when I actually received all this because I've hit my head a lot of times. You know what I mean? I mean, we've been through it all, and there's so many events that I can talk about where I've banged my head, smashed my face, done different things. So there's really no telling, but it's a real thing. And I honestly didn't. I even till this day when things happen and like, you know, I can see it affecting me in different ways. Sleep, you know, I got a little bit of a fuse sometimes.
A little bit.
But we'll cuddle a little.
but it takes a lot to get out of me. I just don't. I mean, I'm not just like, oh, the sky's blue. It's not.
It just takes
No, it's
somebody
red.
questioning your military career.
But that was totally different.
Oh,
That's totally
Wait,
different.
we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah,
subject yet.
let's not.
That's for another episode right there.
Case is still pending.
Statute of limitations has not passed.
But yeah, it's just like I notice a lot of things like maybe a slower speech. If excuse me, if y'all talk to me, maybe it'll take me a little longer to comprehend what's going on. My memory is horrible. Yeah, my short term and my long term memory is horrible. You could tell me something right now, and we'll talk 5 minutes from now, and I'll probably ask you the question that you said. But it's just. I mean, it's different things.
So if I borrow money right now, you'll forget about it later.
It's a possibility, but thank God for these damn phones. I'll be like Siri, I let Nick money. Oh shit, it just went off.
I don't think he did for real. Like shit.
Yeah.
Siri, Raul owes me money.
Yeah, she didn't like that.
Yeah.
At all.
That's a good girl.
Did you didn't you have like a incident in the army? Like
That's a few. I don't.
like a major one?
Yeah, I don't. Well, we talk about it another time, man. Yeah.
So okay, so one of the things you were talking about is how common it's starting to be, and Nick, you brought up the fact that there were
414,000 since 2000 to 2019 that's come up had the injury.
yeah that,
From 2000 to 2019.
Yep.
It's crazy because I bet you they didn't even like I told you I didn't even get tested until
yeah.
I was out of the military,
Right.
and it's crazy.
I was reading up on this stuff. It says it could take sometimes for immediately happen, take a couple of months, take a couple of years before you actually like it takes effect into you. Like I said, I've been reading up on the VA
real
website,
good.
checking out checking out about it, and it's like it's unpredictable and stuff. It can come up years from now. And
Oh.
some people just ignore the symptoms or try to pass it on to something else. But like I said, something they're still learning more about every day.
Yeah. So I know that there's three types. There is a mild TBI, and those are the three types. And the other statistic that I read was that more than 185,000 veterans who go to the VA for their health have been diagnosed with at least one TBI. I mean, that's a huge number of people that have, that have been.
I think
injured.
even now, like as the technology gets more involved, it's easier for them to take more and more pictures of inside your brain and things like that. So I think a lot of that has a lot to do with it too. But it's I guess I think that the thing that affects me the most, I'm gonna be honest with you, is the migraines. I get these migraines, and man, sometimes they last a couple days. Like it's a constant. Like it's like where I'm on the ground, like you know what I mean, just in the dark room, and it's bad, man. Yeah.
So is this COVID thing kind of hurting you, like going in to get tested and all that stuff? Because I know
Well,
everything's by Zoom most of the time.
Yeah, we haven't. I haven't been to the. I was gonna say the VFW. I haven't been to the VA since I think until right before this whole COVID thing happened was my last appointment. Or right when it started was my last appointment in there, and they're not really seeing people, so it's kind of like it's hard for everyone, All my appointments have been via Zoom.
Via Zoom.
Yeah. Like I don't know how you examine a shoulder over Zoom. I don't know how. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everything has been over Zoom. It's insane.
Yeah, because I've been trying to make appointments and stuff to get all my medical stuff updated and everything else because I've been falling way behind. And now it's all Zoom, and like can't get anything done.
I there's probably a lot smarter people at the VA than myself. I agree with you. How can you diagnose anything outside of looking at you through a little window
Yeah.
and saying, you look like you may have. But,
Man.
you look at Raymond and man, he could have just about anything.
Yeah.
It's true.
STDs, STIs, TBIs, Oh wait.
We say DWI.
I was about to say we gonna say
Anything with an eye.
Yeah.
Anything with an eye at the end.
Yeah. And it's all discovered by the FBI.
Always investigated.
You know, the other thing that I read is that insomnia
Oh,
is a
God.
big thing with TBI.
Yeah, as y'all know, I never sleep. I mean, especially if y'all get my text messages at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
I'm definitely gonna get
Because
myself tested out.
I'm always awake.
You don't sleep because all the drugs you're taking. The creatine for muscle mass, the muscle milk to make sure that come on.
No, that's all my PTSD, man. All them nightmares and stuff. That's my problem.
Yeah, nah, that's serious. That's serious
Yeah.
stuff too, man. But the insomnia is probably one of the ones besides the headaches is what kicks my butt, man.
Yeah. It's been.
I'm awake when people are asleep, and then I'm sleepy when it's all jacked up. I'll get tired just randomly and just be like, oh,
I say, just with work when you stuff, I see like, man, I was reading through the all the stuff about the TBIs and stuff. I'm like, man, that's Raul to the T, man. I was like, man, they wrote the book about it.
Yeah, you do have a lot of the same or
Characteristics.
symptoms. Yeah, that I was reading.
just not the short fuse.
No,
I think it's in there too.
I think it is.
It's in there too. It's like
No, it's a good thing I don't have it. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
oh.
I'm saying.
Stop lying.
I've seen you get a little upset at things before, and sometimes it's little things.
I don't recall.
It scares me.
Well, it's just mainly when you don't feed them.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yes.
I always tell him, like, man, you need a sneaker, man. You're not the same without a sneaker.
Hey, he does say that all the time.
Before we move on, I want to hear from our friend Stephen Moreno. He actually runs a AC company here locally. He's a combat engineer. He was an NCO. Did a couple of tours overseas. So, Stephen, why don't you tell us a little bit about your TBI and how you got it?
All right, I first contracted my first TBI. I was
Why you say it like it's an STD?
I was in a bulldozer, man. First Sergeant was awesome about making it seem like we were doing the right thing, doing route clearance in bulldozers up armored D7s. So usually the blast would, the blade would detonate in front of the blade, and it would just kind of push the blast away from you. This one had just happened to detonate on the left side of the blade, probably about 2 feet away from the blade, and the concussion came through the cab. And I just remember I was leaning down, and I came back up with a cigarette, because with a dozer it's real slow, and when it detonated, I don't remember much after that. I do remember looking for my cigarette, never could find it, and apparently while I was like out of it, when they were calling me on the radio, I told them I needed a new pair of underwear. I don't remember that either.
Did you?
Yeah. No, I didn't need an extra pair of underwear, but apparently I was making jokes.
To this day, you never found
Found
it.
the cigarette.
I never did find the cigarette, actually. I did find a burn mark where it was actually, you're not supposed to smoke in government vehicles, so I'm probably incriminating myself a little bit. But
I think the statute of limitations might have expired at that point.
I'm out. I mean, I'll do 45 if you want me to, just as long as you pay me the same pay I was in when I was in. So,
Right. So
3 months of reduction pay.
Yeah. So where were you at? When
So
this
that
happened?
one, I was in Iraq, right outside of Bakuba. We were on Route Lions, actually. It was a dirt road, and we were. I don't know if I think Route Lions was my first IED strike. I'm sorry, the brain are forgetting. There was a palm grove, so we were clearing palm groves and the roads around it. We were going to burn them out because there was we were getting mortared from that position all the time. So we were basically clearing out the palm groves, and then of course we had to clear the streets and everything first before we can go in and burn out the palm trees and stuff. So
Yeah. Wow. Is that the only one that you had, or did you?
No, the second one. So the second one was kind of like my bad. We were on QRF. We were getting ready to roll out. There was a vehicle that got hit by an IED on Blue Babe in Iraq, and we were kind of rolling out as QRF because we had literally just came in the gate, took our gear off, started dismounting our weapons, and then got the call. So we threw our weapons back up. I forgot to lock the hatch. They hit the brake, man, and like a 100-pound plate fucking hit me in the dome. So
Did you have at least your Kevlar on, or
no, brother, I was ready. I was done for the day, man. We had already ran like 2 missions or something for the day, and we had been out the gate for about 12 hours already. So I didn't think about it. I thought I had it locked, but when the guy hit the brakes, man, I was actually bringing the 240 back up. And that's when it fell, and had to get 8 stitches. And then it was funny, they were trying to tell me I needed time off, but 2 days later I just moved all the pads around in my Kevlar so it wouldn't mess with my stitches, and then we were rolling back out. So
that's crazy, man. Like, did
That's
you?
got to be one of the most I can't never without my Kevlar, but I can't tell you how many times the hatch has hit me in the head, or I forgot to hit the little thing, and yeah, it's heavy, but
It
never
was-
without a Kevlar.
it's heavy,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's heavy.
You know, I'm a little older than you guys, so you know.
Just a little bit.
Shut up.
They didn't have vehicles.
No, we were in the
cab.
50 camels.
They holding the flag.
Yeah, there you go. Dun, 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 dun.
I think they still had drummer boys back then.
No, but like you know, on a 113, the hatch, the TC hatch is dangerous, but like the back hatch is really not, because it automatically locks whenever, you know.
Yeah, this one's supposed to automatically lock, but you know, government stuff, it doesn't
Yeah.
always lock when it's supposed to
Circle
lock.
X.
Yeah. We trust our equipment to
Yeah.
a certain point.
Right. So, did you have to go on that mission afterwards, or?
No, so that one I got to sit out. They gave me, like I think it was like 8 or 9 stitches, and then that was it. So
Was that the last TBI that you had, or?
no, the third one I was in Afghanistan for that one. I was there 2010, 2011, and no, maybe it was 11, 12. I don't know. The brain injury, I forget a lot of stuff. I believe it was 10, 11. We were actually walking as me. We were actually leading a MP platoon. It was me and 2 of my sappers, my combat engineers. We were tasked to lead these guys and do route clearance, dismounted clearance for them. And we just happened to be traveling the same road a few times, and I knew that we were kind of, I guess, being predictive, I guess you could say. So I really had a bad feeling, after doing it so long, you get that spidey sense, like, hey man, some stuff's there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So there was a little dirt patch there that was like moon dust, and they even made tire tracks, man, to make it look like there was nothing there. So I told my guys, I was like, I'll go first. And when I did, I walked across. Of course, as I was doing, I was kind of probing at things that I saw, which probably wasn't the right move, man, but I figured if they were going to detonate it, they would have detonated it on me and not anybody else. So I was kind of looking out for my guys. They say that, NCOs aren't supposed to probe and all that stuff, man, but I didn't want my guys digging that shit up. You know what I mean? If anybody was going to go, it was going to be me. So I didn't see nothing. I didn't feel nothing. So next the guy came across. He's the one that had the minesweeper. He went through. Didn't get any hits. I mean, we got hits, but, you kind of learn what's a hit, what's not a hit, So he walked across. Once he walked across, I kind of thought it was clear, so I waved everybody on. And right in the middle of the patrol, man, everything went off, and it was just like a big dust cloud. And like right when it goes off, you just kind of, oh shit, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the only thought that you really have. And then, like I saw things flying around. So at first I thought it was like an arm and a leg of a soldier, because I knew it detonated right in the middle of the patrol. So I was a little freaked out, but everybody took defensive positions. Because shortly after that, we did kind of take on small arms fire, but it was just kind of basically just a, you know, I don't want to say like just kind of just. I don't think they were really trying to hurt us. You know what I'm saying? I think they were just doing it really to lay suppressive fire or something while they moved out. You know what I mean? But anyways, so come to find out, man, I went back and I found out that I told him, I was like, we gotta go back and clear for secondaries, and his eyes got big as silver dollars, man, and we just walked that right back in the dust, man. It was really awesome, you know. His name was McLaren. He was awesome, Joe, and yeah, man, we just kind of finished clearing. I found out that there were only about maybe 5 pounds detonated. There was about 20 more pounds that didn't detonate. Had 20 pounds detonated, we probably would have lost half the platoon.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and I found out that the reason we didn't catch it on the minesweeper was because they had the blasting cap probably about maybe 5 meters away behind a wall, attached to some det cord, and det cord's non-metallic, so there was no metallic in the jugs, so we would have never known it was there. So it's pretty crazy.
That's nuts, you
and
know.
The TTP for them at that time was they were putting pressure plates, so that's kind of what we were looking for. So they really hit us with a Frago, I guess you could say.
Yeah, something totally different. You know, when I went through 12B school, they showed us a lot of stuff. I went pre-Gulf War, so a lot of the stuff was Grenada and Vietnam type tactics, and you know, I can't imagine the amount of stuff that has been learned through some of these IEDs and stuff that has been going on. I'm very thankful that you guys made it out. You know, sad for the ones that were lost. And I don't know if there were any losses.
We didn't lose anybody except for one guy to suicide, but that was a whole different issue. However, we did lose a couple guys to where like they lost a leg or
injuries,
stepped on some injuries and stuff. But I would love to find out how those guys are doing, but you just kind of lose contact because the show keeps on going, I guess you say. When somebody leaves, you don't stop and really get to really
to kind of A, say your goodbyes, and B, really maintain that relationship long term. I actually have another question for you. As you have transitioned back into the real world, right? How has your TBI affected you or your TBIs?
So the Army did a pretty good job when I was, while I was still in. They had me doing like interactive metronome or whatever it is. Basically, clap your hands while you're listening to beats. And I used to think it was stupid, but it actually helped a lot. And then they teach you how to use apps to basically track your day and how to stay on top of stuff. And so like transitioning to the civilian world was a little difficult. One, you lose that camaraderie. You know what I mean? You're used to any given time you can call anybody and you got a shoulder to lean on. You know what I'm saying? Or a support crutch, to kind of help you through the tough times. So when you get out, you really didn't have that. It's really tough sometimes because like in my business, because I do own a business, it gets hard because you have like 50 million things going, and like for example, if you tell me something, I'll probably forget because I'm focused on the immediate thing right there, and then I forget. So like it gets frustrating sometimes. It has affected my business, not to the point where it's like hurting our business. It's just, to me, I think we could do a lot better if I could remember certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know you've said that you have some issues sleeping and remembering. Short-term and long-term memory is kind of out there.
Well, yeah, y'all have seen it. You witnessed it. I forget a lot. Short-term, long-term memory. Maybe if there's times where something is said and it may take me a little longer to understand, or not to understand. Maybe for it to, oh shit,
Yeah.
my insomnia is ridiculous. I don't sleep. Even with medication, I probably sleep anywhere from like 3 hours, maybe 4 max. If and that's a good night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just oh man, the worst one is the migraines. I get migraines for days at a time, and it kicks my ass. Um, just migraines where you feel like you just want to take your head off. It's horrible.
I can't imagine that, man. Like, I don't get them very often, but when I do, it shuts me down.
Yeah,
Do
just
you?
to kind of piggyback off that, yeah, I mean, I would say about 3 or 4 times a year I do go to the ER where they gotta like actually kind of dope me up, man, to get rid of them, man, because I'll get them so bad that I can't even function. So that's
I went the other not the other day, probably about a month and a half ago. I went to the ER, and they got me in there. They started giving me the IV. They gave me fluids, and then they were doing a couple of other things. And then I had a damn panic attack. So when the doctor left, I took everything off, and then I walked out the door because I don't know. I was I had a panic attack in the hospital, and I was like, I want to go home. And I think they gave me Benadryl, so I was like sleepy as hell. Yeah, that yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy, man. So you mentioned some apps.
yeah. So like Google, they create a lot of apps, man. But like the calendar, obviously, is your
Oh,
first
yeah.
one you're gonna go to. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I found out that there's a thing for simple little tasks. It's called Asana.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
M-
used Asana a lot to try to,
I never heard of it.
Yeah, so the church that I go to, well, that we go to,
Uh huh.
actually uses Asana to do tasks and assign tasks to the employees and stuff,
Yeah.
which is freaking awesome.
So you do it as a daily task reminder to yourself?
Well, you can do like daily tasks or long-term tasks.
Oh, okay,
You know
okay,
what I
I
mean?
got
It
you.
just kind of
Yeah.
it's a really good program. I mean, not trying to pitch their stuff or anything, but
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
and then there's also things that um, I mean, basically it was just Google. I can't remember some of them offhand that they showed me, but
No,
you know what I mean. But most of them are just like Google. When I run my business, though, I really rely on I have a service app, and then I also have like Google, and then I use like Asana. Those are the
Mhm.
main ones. And I still do the notepad thing. You know what I mean? I'll write them all
Yeah,
down.
it's because you're old.
Well, it's not. Yeah, we'll say.
I
that,
had to
but-
use it at
Yeah,
least
I
once.
yeah, I can say that. Because y'all
So-
already know my memory. Yeah, we say something right now, 5 minutes from now, I'll be like, hey, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I can be mid-sentence sometimes and just forget.
I feel like,
You know.
what is that? Was it, fuck, not, no, Dora? Finding the Dora? What the hell is that movie about that damn fish that can't
Nemo.
Finding
Nemo.
Nemo. So which one is the one that has a memory issue?
That's
Dory.
Dora.
Oh, okay,
That's
that's
like
what I
that.
was thinking
Dory.
of. What the hell was that talking about? Dora? Who's
Yeah,
Dora?
Dora, the Explorer.
Dora Explorer, though.
But she can't find
That's a
shit
whole
either.
different Mexican.
And she carries a map in her backpack. But yeah, so one of the other things before I forget, I wanted to ask both of y'all, how do you compensate for the lack of sleep?
Cocaine.
I
I'm
wish.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I wish I ain't got enough money for that.
That was a joke, by the way.
Nah,
It was a
I
joke.
don't know. You just kind
Nah.
of you just kind of get used to it, man. Like I'll be
Yeah,
honest
yeah.
with you, like I won't go to bed till sometimes 1, 2, and wake up at 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have actually been getting better, longer sleep, but it's not better sleep.
Are you on medication?
No, actually, like they tried to at one point I was on 8 different medications, man, and
Yeah.
I actually felt more shitty, if that's even a thing,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on that stuff.
Ah, it makes sense.
And then
Makes sense.
once I started winging myself off of it, I found that I felt not better mentally, but physically I was able, you know what I mean? Like when I took, like I was on, just some of the ones I can remember is like Zoloft.
Yeah, that's so.
I was on Lanesta.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple other ones, and then also for like pain, they were giving me. So like no crap, man. In the army, dude, I was getting like anywhere between 60 to 80 Percocets a month, man.
Yeah.
Of course, I was the happiest guy during PT on that stuff, man. But
I know.
you know, they'd be like, "We're going for a 5-mile run." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" But they kept adding more to counteract another medication, and then
Yeah, the
once
side
I-
effects of
Yeah,
yeah,
and once
and
I-
that's I think one of the biggest problems that you start getting into is the more medications you start piling on. The
Yeah, and then okay, so if you take if you're taking Percocets, you take 2 today, possibly you take 4 tomorrow, you take 6 the next day, and then
right,
before you know it, everything is just
Well,
snowballed.
I'm not gonna
Right.
lie to you, man. Like there was a point in my army career where I was actually trading other shit for Percocets, man. It was almost addictive.
Sexual
Oh
favors.
no,
No, not sexual favors, but like it was pretty close. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
$20 is
But
$20, buddy.
$20 is $20, man. But no, you know, like when they would give me that, I would run out probably like maybe a week early because I was just taking them.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so there was my head came in town, for the holidays, and I remember, because I'm not gonna say where I was stationed, and then people are gonna know what people I'm talking about, and I don't want to put nobody out there. So it turned out my family had noticed that I had been taking more medication than I should have been, and my family's caring. Some would say nosy, but I say caring. So they were going through my stuff, and they counted pills, and then so one day they came up to me and they were like, hey, we want to talk to you, and they're like, we noticed that you've been taking, and we think you have a problem, and I said, no, I don't have a problem, because the first step is to be
Right,
defensive.
right,
Yeah.
right.
I was like, nah, y'all are crazy. I said, I'm doing what I have to do. So I got mad, man. I left. And I called my platoon sergeant at the time, and I was like, hey, Sergeant, I got a question for you. And he was like, what's going on? And I was in Houston. And he goes, I said, man, my parents told me that I have a pill problem. And he goes, nah, you don't, man. He goes, you're a soldier. You do what you have to do to soldier up and soldier on. And at that point, I was like, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that tends to be the mentality in the military.
Yeah.
Is you drive on to accomplish the mission.
Yeah.
You do what you need to do to finish that mission, in spite of some better sense, right? Like sometimes you got to slow down and go.
Because
Man.
they put that in you.
Well,
man. They
Yeah.
put-
Oh,
well,
yeah.
they do, yeah. Because I
Yeah.
mean, think about it. Like, think about how many times you went and somebody went to sick call,
Oh,
and you were like, Malinger,
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bitch.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, think about it. You know what I mean? So that is the mentality, man. And like, I'm not saying, because like, don't get me wrong, I was the same way. I was an NCO, and
Yeah,
you had guys that
yeah.
were like, and you're like,
I got a little
For
blister
real,
on my
like-
baby toe.
like, dude, I got
So-
bloody blisters in my boots right now.
No,
It's bleeding
right.
through my boots. Like, come on,
Right.
man, let's go. But
But I think that changed me as a person and a NCO. Like I was like, man, I can't, because I was taking a crap load of stuff. I had to wean off of it. When I got back, when this all happened, I got mad and I left. This was during the Christmas holidays. I flew back to where I was at, and luckily at the time I was staying in the barracks because I think I was PCSing somewhere, and I was trying to save. So
yeah,
Yeah.
So my roommate at the time was a medic, man. So he was good people, man. So I was like, hey, take care of me. I'll be here for a little bit. So he's come in, make sure I was eating, make sure I was drinking. I had to get off of it.
yeah.
Dude,
And-
yeah.
And did it cold turkey, man. No help. Well, besides, he brought me food and brought me drinks, and
Right.
things like that. But it
And
was
probably made sure that you were
and,
okay.
yeah.
But
I mean, for
yeah,
a minute there,
like,
I was staring at a wall, man. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
shit.
No, I
yeah,
do.
dude, going through withdrawals is
Yeah.
not a easy thing, and man, my hat off to you, brother.
I remember coming out the post, man, sober as can be, and I said, "Damn, has that mountain always been there?" And one of my boys was like, "Bro, you've been high for like 3 years straight." Yeah, it's been there. I was like, "Oh
funny.
shit."
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
know,
But did there come a point in your life where you just or did what made you stop the medication? Was it just you alone?
Wow, well, now we're really going to get deep, man, if you're asking that kind of question, dude. Um, so amongst all the other drugs they were giving me, man, the Percocets, they were also the happiest I've ever been, but also at my worst, right?
mhm.
So one night we had a party, and of course, combat engineers, man, we drink like hell. I mean,
I don't know what you're
there's a
talking
song. There's a song dedicated just to drinking for engineers. It's called the Engineer. Was it Engineer Anthem or whatever? Yeah, dude. So we were all drinking one night, man, and my buddy was getting ready to deploy to Iraq or Afghanistan, and I don't know really what set it off. I had been shot at a couple times with a sniper. Luckily, they missed. They weren't good at their job, so yeah, they were losers. They hit the glass, and so like we were drinking, and then next thing I know, like I don't remember this, but they said that I threw a kid on the ground, and then I started giving orders on like how to. There was a hotel like I guess right across the street from where my homeboy lived, and I flipped my shit, and so I grabbed a gun, and I was in my garage, and I was I was thinking about myself, turning it on myself, and then the sad thing is my grandmother, she's like 80, I think at that time, maybe 75, and she came out in the garage to try to talk to me, and that's like the one woman that I would never ever hurt, and like she was so scared that she turned around and went inside. And after that, another soldier, what it took was one of my friends, he was on staff duty, and my wife called him and was like, hey, if we call the cops, they're going to fucking kill him. You know what I mean? Because I had a gun. You know what I mean? So she called him. He came out, man. He knows who he is. So if he ever sees this, he'll know, But they came over. They wrestled the gun away from me. Like literally didn't take no shit. They wrestled the gun away from me. And then after that, the next day, I went and talked to behavioral health. There had been some other issues going on, and they put me in a hospital. I got out. And even though they were trying to feed me all that shit in the hospital, I wouldn't take it. After that, I was completely done with every medication. I didn't care. And that's when I realized that I needed to stop that shit, and I did. I just cold turkey. It wasn't easy, you know what I mean? Because like I said, like they'd be like, "We're going for a 5-mile run," and I was the happiest freaking asshole running 5 miles, dude.
But you were one of those guys.
I was one of those guys. So,
Wow. I'm very few times in my life have I been completely speechless, and I am pretty much there right now. So.
Wow.
I ask you these questions, man, because I want people to know that are struggling and that have been going through, the things that we've experienced. That way, they know that there's more, there's bigger plans in store for them.
Yeah.
If anyone would overcome the obstacles, overcome the obstacle.
There's believe it or not, there's a lot of them out there, man.
I got chills, bro.
Yeah, I got some too, man. But there's a lot of them too out there, man. Like there was a specialist, Nagy. He had issues. He was involved in an ID strike rollover, and he wound up breaking his neck. He got medically discharged, and he didn't really have the support. And we got we had all split up, went our own ways, because after our deployment in Afghanistan, everybody kind of we had a toxic chain of command, man. So everybody just kind of split and went their own ways. They either went to different units or got the hell out of the army. You know what I mean? And he got out, and we got a call one night. I think it was one of my soldiers, Mata, called me and was like, "Hey man, Nagy's dead. He wrapped his tree around a truck, or his truck around a tree, man. You know what I mean?"
Wow.
So, and there's a lot of guys out
It's-
there that do that. They, they turn to alcohol, they turn to
Mhm.
drugs.
It's easier to self-medicate than to admit that you have a problem.
It's true, man.
Especially when that's been ingrained into your head for so long that, like your platoon sergeant said, you fucking do what you got to do to keep going.
On driving, yeah. And I think one of the hardest things too, man, is like when these guys go to the VA just wants to pump them full of medications, man. When I got out, it was ridiculous the shit they were trying to put me on, and I told them I wouldn't do it.
And I'm very thankful. I know that, some things have changed to where you can actually go to a civilian,
Yeah.
practitioner, because of the fact that, there's been so many problems. And I agree. I think as a veteran community, though, we need to do a better job of reaching out to those people. And one of the things that really bothers me a lot, and I'm the older I get, the more wisdom I've obtained, and I don't necessarily, bitch about everything, just most things. But
Everything.
yeah, well, no, not really. Like, I'm about to bitch about this one, and I haven't really done it before. But like, I'm totally cool with the fact that the 22 push-ups a day challenge, right, brings awareness. But instead of doing 22 push-ups in a day, call some people, freaking pick up the phone and go, "John, how are you doing?
Yep.
Like, what is going on? How can I help you?" Like, that is going to do a lot more than me dropping and doing 22 push-ups.
That
Not
is
that I
true.
can do 22 push-ups right now because I'm fat, dumb, and happy. But
I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah.
No, and that's and like that's exactly right, man. Like I kind of kicked myself, man, because there was a kid that he was one of my soldiers, man. It was funny, man. Like, I mean, I got stories for days, dude, but we wound up
we don't have
we
days,
wound
bro.
up sharing a whoopee. Just put it this way, dude, because these assholes forgot their snivel gear
Hey,
while we
bro.
were out on the field,
I've been there.
and like we were all spooning together, brother.
I've been the
and-
big spoon.
And he actually, when he got out, man, I know he had issues because he was with me on one of the missions I was just telling you about. And like, come to find out, man, he had been drinking a lot, and he wound up getting in a wreck, and he killed somebody. And so like now, I don't even know where he's at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew they were taking him to court, and I was talking to him while he was going to court, and I was like, "Hey, let me know if you need anything." And I felt like shit because I was like, I should have reached out to him, man, see how he's doing. But then again, it's like, I can't. I'm 1,500 miles away from this guy. I can't really. But maybe that phone call might have.
Yeah, well,
You know
the
what
other
I'm
thing
saying?
is, with the internet now, you're not 1,500 miles away,
That is
right?
true.
Yeah, we are more connected now than ever in our history. And again, call, just reach out. It doesn't even have to be a big thing. With the coronavirus, one of my buddies, Dave, he was like, the best thing to do is text all your clients. Just, "Hey, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well."
Yeah.
And man, I can't tell you the response that I got just by sending a little text. So I personally would challenge anybody to reach out to those people that you served with. Get on Facebook, get on Twitter, get on whatever social media platform.
MySpace.
Okay, I did have a
We
MySpace
do need to
account.
bring that. We need to bring that shit back.
Yeah, bring MySpace back.
But like with you guys, I have it in my calendar to text you guys at least once a month.
Only once a month.
Well,
For real, bro, like us.
I see you guys like freaking every day.
Yeah, bro, I text you at random hours throughout the night.
Yeah, like 3:30 in the morning. Hey, I have a great idea. I get it. I'm asleep though.
My greatest ideas come when you normal people sleep.
All right.
That's what he tells me all the time.
My buddy Rob always tells me, dude, he's like, I can tell when you've been drinking, dude, because, like, you call me and you're like, dude, I got this idea. And that's
Bro.
how it starts every time.
Every time, when you're texting me or calling me, if I hear this is gonna be funny as fuck, I know I'm in for like some wild, crazy stuff, man. So,
Hey, and when he tells me Steve has got another idea, I say, "Oh shit, man! Let me hear it."
Dude, if I had enough money for all my deals, dude, we'd be in trouble, brother.
Well, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I know you're a busy man.
Gotcha.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your business and what you do and how people can reach you?
Oh, so you want my plug-in? Got it. So I'm Steve-O, the Gringo, man. I own 12 Bravo Construction and Comfort Specialists. We do roofs, insulation, siding, and we specialize in AC and heating. Basically, whatever it takes to keep your house cool, we like to do it. People don't really realize how how everything goes hand in hand when it comes to keeping your house cool. But that's pretty much what I'm doing, and I'm actually working on my real estate license right now, and then my next will be my home inspector's license. So as of right now, I hold 22 certifications and 1 state license, man. So I'm just working my way up the food chain. So
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have a website?
yeah, you can find me at 12-bravo.com, not the hyphen, or not the, what is that called? The slash, the backslash. It's actually a hyphen. People can't ever get that shit right for some reason, but it's 12-bravo.com. Just go online, check us out, Facebook, like us on Facebook and YouTube. We're coming out with some better videos. He's supposed to be working on
Oh man, I'm actually looking forward to this last one.
I heard.
Yeah.
Let's just wait till it comes out. That's
I want to actually get it on the media, like out on the TV, dude, if they'll let it.
Man,
dude.
I don't know if they'll allow it just based on knowing what it's about. I doubt it, but again, man, thank you so much for not only coming on the show but sharing your stories and sharing your passion, because there's a lot of passion. We would love to have you on the show again. But before we go, I know you and I have been working on a little project for September 11th.
Oh yeah. Man, I was looking at you crazy. Like, what'd you tell me?
Oh, yeah.
To go back to the memory thing.
Yeah, exactly. We've only been working on it for like 2 weeks. But we, the shirt.
Yeah, we got a 9/11 shirt that we're releasing. Actually, it's available right now, and with 22% of the profit from that shirt sale, we're gonna donate to
a foundation in New York that provides support for the 9/11 first responders.
So we'll have the actual charity. I don't have the paperwork in front of me right now, and I can't remember it.
It'll be in the link below. You can see the shirt right here, or actually there, or somewhere. No, it's a different shirt.
Oh.
And go ahead, Ruth.
So we got that shirt available, and it's available now. So be sure and take that. We will be making that donation, and we look forward to it. It's an awesome shirt, by the way. I really like it. And we also have this shirt available right now. So if you want to support, let's talk about it. That'd be us. We also have coffee mugs available for sale. And with that, also, we will be donating a portion of it.
We love you. We look forward to seeing you next week.
At 22 until none.
Yeah, man, we gone.